Now we are waiting for a final moment. We'd like to hear from our esteemed guest today, Honourable Cameron Dick, MP. So I'd like to invite the Honourable Minister to speak in the class, please.
Well, thanks very much, and thank you very much for the invitation to join you today at this special event. Can I begin also by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land where we meet and thank Uncle Noel for his presence here today and for acknowledging the traditional owners. As Uncle Noel has said, in this part of our state it's the Jagera and the Yugambeh speaking people, and it is very important at all community events that we do acknowledge the traditional owners and their ongoing custodianship of our ancient continent, Australia. And it's great to see Uncle Noel here. It's great to see Tony Langdon here as well. Tony is one of our community liaison officers in the police service, working closely with a range of communities, including the Indigenous community here in Logan City. And it's also great to see Mick Dowdy here, one of our leaders in the Queensland Police Service. Great to see you, Mick. And the Queensland Police Service is doing very significant work, working with all communities across Queensland, including the Islamic communities across our state, who have been subject to some significant acts, some acts of violence in the community and some acts of denigration. And the police will always be there to protect you and members of your community. So it's great to see Mick here. Can I also acknowledge all of the other distinguished guests here? Can I acknowledge Ismail Kaji, of course, a very significant leader in the Islamic community in our state, the President of the Islamic Council of Queensland. I've had the opportunity to meet with and talk with Ismail on a number of occasions, and it's great to see him here today. Can I acknowledge Professor Shah Jahan Khan, Vice President of the Islamic Council of Queensland. Professor, great that you could be here today also. Can I acknowledge Dr. Azharul Karim, a Senior Lecturer and Course Leader at the Queensland University of Technology. Can I acknowledge Dr. Fafakul, who is here also. Can I also acknowledge some of my good friends here. Jamal El-Khaled from the Logan Mosque. Jamal has been a very good friend to me since I became the Labor candidate for Woodridge and now the State Member for Woodridge and the Minister for Health. And I want to thank Jamal for his friendship and for the work that he does in our community and the leadership work that he does as the President of the Islamic Council of Logan and the President of the mosque down at Logan, just down on 3rd Avenue. And I'll say a little bit more about 3rd Avenue later on. Can I acknowledge Abdul Aday, another good friend of mine here today. Abdul's son Adam was a candidate for public office for the Australian Labor Party at the last state election and just failed to win election by a couple of hundred votes. And he is one of the first Islamic candidates the Australian Labor Party's ever run for public office, and now he's a candidate for election at the Brisbane City Council election in March next year. And I thank Abdul and his family for their friendship and support over many years. And all of the friends from the community of Logan that are here today, it is great to be here. I come here wearing two hats today, the State Member for Woodridge and also as the State Minister for Health. And for me, it's always great to engage with the Islamic community in this great multicultural community that we call Logan City, one of the most multicultural, vibrant and diverse cities in Australia. More than 200 nationalities and ethnicities in our city. And many of those are right in the electorate of Woodridge, which I'm so pleased to represent in the Queensland Parliament. Can I of course acknowledge Imam Akram from the Slats Creek Mosque. Thank you, Imam, for hosting the event today, and thank you for the work that you're doing in our community. Anyone with a moment's engagement with Islam knows that it is a religion of benevolence, love, charity and peace. And I know that the work that the Unity Centre is doing here, that the work at the Logan Mosque and also at the mosque at Parramatta Road, Underwood, which I attend on regular occasions as well, are taking that message to the Queensland community. So we, as we like to say, we're all in this together. We are all connected. We are all connected. Whether we came to Australia 154 years ago, like my family. My family came from a small town near Glasgow in Scotland 154 years ago in 1862 to Queensland, or whether you came 154 days ago All people are welcome in our state. And I have been a strong supporter of the vibrant multiculturalism that makes Logan so unique and our state and our nation so unique. I think the diversity that we have in our city and our state and our nation makes us strong. I think it makes us strong, and it makes for an incredible, colourful tapestry. A tapestry where we all bring our family experience, our life experience, the history of our family and our cultures to Australia. And that creates an enormous diversity, but it creates great strength and vibrancy. So the picture of Australia is one that is about multiculturalism and diversity, because we have all come from somewhere to this great continent, Australia. And that's a great thing for our nation. That is a great thing for a nation and is something to celebrate, which is what we are here to do, to celebrate diversity and the contribution that Islamic communities, who have been part of our national story for more than 100 years as well, that Islamic story and the contribution that is made to our state and nation. I want to thank the Unity Centre here for taking that message of unity to the community. We do have a challenge, and I think we need to be honest about the challenge, about breaking down those walls of ignorance, breaking down those barriers. I know many of you have lived in our community for many generations. You work hard, you pay your taxes, you want your children to have a better life, as we all do for our children, and you contribute significantly to our city, to our state and to our nation. And that's something to be celebrated. There are some in our community that want to divide us, and we have to stand against that. There are some, of course, that do take messages of extremism and fundamentalism into our community, and I know everyone here is opposed to that as well, because in a society we need to have tolerance, understanding, we need to embrace difference, and we need to accept and understand other people. It's not just tolerating, it's accepting as well. And all of us have to stand up against those voices of extremism and fundamentalism, not just in the Islamic community, but wherever it may appear in our community. We all must stand against that, and I know that everyone here does that as well, and that's such an important thing. And I stand with you as a state member of Parliament and as a minister in the government to stand against those voices that want to divide us and to stand for peace and unity. And that's a very important thing. As the Minister for Health, of course, I'm engaging with a range of multicultural communities. I've met with Dr. Hakim, I just wanted to say, I've met with Bangladeshi doctors in our state here who have come to our state and contribute so much to our health system. I know there are many doctors in our health system in Queensland who have come from many parts of the world who are adherents of Islam, but their first commitment is to making life better for Queenslanders through the health system. And they play a very important role as nurses, as doctors, as clinicians in allied health professions like physiotherapy, occupational therapy. They contribute so much. Many people from around the world have come to our state now to contribute to scientific research, to medical research, and we lead the world in many ways in what we're doing in Queensland in scientific and medical research. And that diversity, that experience from overseas that is brought to Queensland is helping us lead the world in what we do in some of the breakthroughs in scientific and medical research. So it's a great pleasure to be here. You need to know that the criminal law and the civil law in our state protects people from abuse, from vilification and from criticism. Our anti-discrimination laws prevents people from being discriminated against because of their religion and also because of the way they practice their religion. And that's a very strong thing in our state, and we support that very strongly as a government, and we need to work together. It's what Robert said. The fundamental truth for all of us is that we want other people to treat us the way we would like to treat them. That's a fundamental. It's a fundamental of all religions. Treat others as you would have them treat you. It's a fundamental of all religions. It's a fundamental of human society and community. And we need to take that message of embracing and acknowledging other people and treating them with the respect and the dignity that we hope that others treat us with. in our daily lives. So thanks very much for the invitation to be here. Great to be part of this meeting today as your State Member of Parliament and also as the Minister for Health, and I look forward to our relationship continuing to grow over the years to come, and thank you for everything you do for our city and for our state. Thanks very much.